Alright, hello and welcome back to Let's Play yet another no-name MAME game. Today's no-name MAME game is, of course, Frontline. This is actually a twin-stick shooter, so I've brought in the help of a second joystick, arcade stick, to help me out. Now, unfortunately, the way it wants you to do is it wants you to control the direction and control the shot, but the thing about using twin sticks is you could pretty much control two directions, or a direction and a shot, but that's about it. So I had to map it so that pressing the direction shoots in that direction, which is nice, it sort of works, but definitely not how you'd want to do it. You'd want the game to be auto-firing, but still, I mean, this makes for a pretty surreal experience, where you basically just got two full joysticks just hanging around, playing this game. And I mean, I would definitely say that this game is a lot better with twin joysticks. I'm not saying it's an amazing game either way, but twin sticks is pretty nice. And I know this is necessary. Oh, come on, even the bird killed me? Oh, I guess that was probably a guy in a tree, but still. And I mean, I know this isn't technically my first twin stick game. There was also Wacko, but Wacko was kind of terrible. So we're going with this for the first true official twin stick game. And I mean, looking at the graphic, I kind of like that guy. It's just like, just the way he walks, just the way everyone walks. It's like they look like such dunces. And it's like, it's kind of the nice, happy, lighthearted depiction of war. That's how arcade games should be. I don't know, I particularly like that. Oh, geez, tanks even. This guy cannot handle tanks. Oh, that's bad. Still, it's kind of a fun game just to, like, get in there and start whacking around and, like, just no idea what you're doing. You don't even have to be good at this game, which is actually okay because, I mean, this game, it does seem pretty hard. And I imagine even if you had a pretty legitimate twin-stick setup, that it would still be fairly hard, and you might not be able to do so well. Also, too, no continue functions, so that's disappointing. Why do you guys not have continue functions? Do you not see the whole point of credit spamming? I mean, yeah, it dilutes the whole hardcore difficulty experience, but it gets you more quarters. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting game, and I didn't quite know they had twin-stick games this early. Although, I mean, technologically wise, it shouldn't be too unanticipated. I mean, you just have like two inputs instead of one. It's not exactly programming magic to get this thing to work. But I mean, maybe it was just like the idea just wasn't quite there. And I kind of wonder if, like, the guy who heard about twin sticks after, like, seeing someone else implement it was like, oh, well, we need to get to the next advance. And he's like, let's do triple sticks. And then he realized it was a terrible idea. I can just imagine the CEO saying that. It's like, we need to increase our market profile. I don't know. It's a little harder to focus in when you've got, like, two sticks going on. Oh, man. And I mean, the game itself is a little mad. I mean, I'm pretty sure if, like, the controller setup was a bit more intuitive, then it wouldn't be so hard. But I mean, it's also kind of a game that just seems inherently sloppy in its design. Like, you're not really in control of what happens in the game. Oh, well, one more life. But I mean, you're looking around, oh jeez. Like, everything shoot. Oh my god, the tanks get bigger? That's unacceptable. Oh, come on, Taito? And you're using Roman numerals? Who do you think you are, Williams? I wonder if they saw Williams' cabinet and they're like, hey, this is cool, let's do Roman numerals too. And then they started doing it. Actually, yeah, that's like a weird tie-in to Wacko, because I mean, Wacko, Williams, it had Roman numeral dates. I don't know. I wonder though if this game was in any way inspired by Wacko. I really hope not. And if you look at it, like, gameplay-wise, nowhere near the same. Wacko was about a twin-stick shooter that was also kind of a puzzle game. This is just kind of your standard twin-stick. Well, okay, it's kind of your standard top-down run and gun with twin sticks. Actually, the twin sticks makes it a little atypical. Because, I mean, people realize that you can either have a twin stick or a fire button, and not both, and I guess most people went for just the fire button. Also, I'd imagine single stick is easier for arcade operators to, like, just handle, so they don't have to, like, replace double sticks all the time. Sticks are expensive, actually. It's a little depressing. Buttons are cheap, sticks are expensive. Huh. So, of course, they would go for the single button. But yeah, most run and guns nowadays just kind of, you control the character's direction using the button. Actually, some of them, they kind of cheat a little and you get like a strafe button. But I mean, I think that's kind of what this game wants you to do, because in the default scheme, the direction that they shoot in is separate from the fire button. I mean, I changed it, but it wasn't quite like that to begin with. So maybe they wanted you to be able to, like, control the direction you're aiming in, and then fire independently. But that would take, like, 3 hands to be doing everything simultaneously. Whereas if you just have, like, a little strafe button, then you're in business. So, in retrospect, that was a very nice addition to this sort of genre. As for the game itself, I mean, sloppy, top-down, first-person shooter. I mean, twin stick definitely adds to the experience, but it's not so much that you couldn't replicate it. I do, yeah, it's the funny little walks, but I mean, it's a little repetitive. Oh, but the allure of twin sticks just pulls me on. Those tanks, though, I mean, they're like really cheap. The tanks, just because there's no way you're gonna get past the tank. And then the big tank comes in, like, you can dodge the little tanks, and you're like, ha, suck at little tanks. And then you see that big tank, and you're like, I'm done now. That big tank. And you know what's worse? His shot is even smaller than the other tanks, and yet he always gets you. What's up with that? Maybe you're supposed to, like, craftily maneuver yourself as to, best dodge the tanks, but there's no way past all the tanks. Oh, come on. Oh my god, did I kill a tank? No time to check. Oh yeah, well. Oh man. Still, that was kind of exciting. There's like a desert level in there. Maybe this game is beatable. Let's try it out. Tanks aren't as bad as they appear. I don't know. You just... because the enemies' shots, they all kind of have a range, which is, again, atypical for top-down running guns. So, I think your guy's range is longer than theirs, so if you're a little savvy, you can probably be able to take advantage of that. Although I'm realizing more and more, like, the best strategy is to just kind of run forward as recklessly as you can, and then use the twin stick to shoot backwards, like, take pot shots backwards. That's the main application of the twin stick. It's not so you can move and shoot opposite, it's so you can move up and shoot down. Oh, the whole point of the game is just run forward like a coward and then shoot backwards. I don't know, let's try playing it. Let's go full coward. And let's see if we can play it like that. It's a little hard in these initial spots just because you've got guys around and they like flapping all around and doing stuff. But then you get to the tanks and the tanks are... well, if they have one main flaw, it's that they're slow. They got pretty great armaments, though, so that doesn't do you a whole lot. Yes, that's right. He's a reluctant Rambo. Oh, man. Because they keep sticking guys right where you want to go, and that's no bueno. And it's, like, kind of hard to hit diagonals with the second twin stick that is not mounted properly to anything, mind you. Ay! Oh, the tank right away. Well, let's go for something wacky. Let's go for a no shooting run. Pacifist run, as it were. Yeah, it might work out better, but you gotta be careful to stay out of people's sights, and I wonder if you can take hits, because I swear this guy's getting hit, but, not dying. Also, I half wonder if enemies can run into minefields, but, that seems to be a little too much to hope for. Oh! Is it mirror to those guys just fall off a cliff and die? Which... Ah, you move faster in the not rough. Will it help? Yeah, probably not. Probably not. Ah, running into a tank even kills you, which... I don't know if that's realistic or not in life. Run into a tank, I mean, you probably hurt yourself a little. Because it's like the stupid guys, they won't hit you. They're firing around randomly, but those tanks... Tanks always aim to kill. Well, I mean, no matter what you do, this game is gonna be basic. But, I mean, there are things you can do to, like, spice up arcade games and make them fun. You can play around with the controls a little bit. I wonder if anyone's implemented any sort of, like, eye-tracking arcade machine. So it's like you just kind of eye-track... Oh, man. Can you imagine an eye-tracking arcade machine where it's like a light gun game? Now, that would be pretty cool. So, hey, I mean, if you're ever getting bored of arcade games, just kind of, like, pull in some extra controllers or whatever and spice it up. See how many controllers you can hold at the same time. Actually, if you remember, there was, like, Exterminator or something, Xenophobe, that had, like, 3 simultaneous players, but it's like, if you got 3 controllers, you could probably rig it up so it's like you can play it all as one person. And it's pretty interesting because it's, like, one more player than you have hands, so that... I mean, just playing 2 players at the same time is a mind bend. Can you imagine 3? It's an easy game, though, so that's why, like, 3 players might work. Or if you ever get bored, you could just set everything up as mirror mode again, I guess. Still, I mean, even though the world of arcade games is wide and infinite, when you're exploring it through MAME, you can make it as even wider and more infinite if you want to. So, next time you look at your favorite arcade game, think, maybe I could make this more exciting. And on that note, this cat's got a scat.